Oh my god! There is a crow, you guys. Please ignore that if you guys can. Hey guys, I am Sneha and you are watching my channel Book Junction. So a few days back, one of my kind subscribers, Shruti, texted me on Instagram and she suggested me that I can come up with a video where I talk about books on mental health and mental illness. So that's why I am here with this video. So a huge shout out to Shruti, who is a psychologist herself. Thank you so much for suggesting me this video idea. And now without any further delay, let's start talking about the books. So I have 5 book recommendations. These books either feature characters with mental health issues or they have a central theme of mental health anyway. So let's talk about the books, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. So the first book that I want to recommend to you guys is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. Now this book has mental illness as its central theme. Both the protagonists go through mental health issues in this book and they go through severe crisis, and that makes this book really special for people who want to read something that is related to mental health and mental illness. Now Theodore Finch and Violet Markey, who are the protagonists of the book, go through mental health issues, as I already told you. So Theodore was really suicidal, and then Violet Markey goes through PTSD and is also pretty much depressed because of a loss that she had to go through. And the book is so good when it comes to describing their pain, describing their dilemma and describing their illness, I think, in the best possible way. So sometimes we have books that have mental health issues as their central themes, but they do not really do much about the description part, and I feel like the description is very good in this book. The way the author has described their pain, their problems, their issues. So even if you have never experienced depression firsthand, you will still get a little bit of an idea about how and what they go through, when someone is in depression or anything, even PTSD. So a lot of people don't really have any idea about PTSD and how traumatic it can get for people. So you will get an idea about what it is to be in that space. So I already do have a review of this book on my channel where I talk in detail about everything that I did not like about the book as well. So if you want to know what I did not like about the book, you can check that video out. I will put that in the description down below. But other than that, I really think if you really want to read something on mental illness, you should totally read this book. So the next book that I want to recommend to you guys is Veronica Decides to Die by Paulo Coelho, and there is a huge reason why I am recommending this book to you guys. Now when it comes to Paulo Coelho, he writes a lot of stories that revolve around faith, spirituality, religion, etc. And I feel like an author who is praised so much for his work on God and religion, and people have faith in him, as a person, as an author. People look up to him, and when he writes a story that incorporates so much about mental health and mental illness, it is even more important because there are so many people who follow him, and when he writes something on mental health and mental illness, people are going to read it and understand it. They will be able to comprehend it as something real and not a taboo. So in this story, Veronica ends up in a mental asylum where she gets along with other patients, and then the story continues, and there are a lot of things that are involved in the story. So I feel like it's very interesting and then very informative as well. And as I told you, the reason why I actually recommended this book to you guys. So I hope that you will love this book as well. Next up, I have a really special book for you guys. The name of the book is It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. And honestly, if there is one book that I will recommend to anyone who wants to read anything related to mental health, I will recommend this book to that person. And the speciality of this book is the way the author has explained or described his illness, what he actually goes through. So when you read his book, you will actually get to know what it feels like to be going through anxiety, depression and being in that dark place. So when you read the book, you will actually get to know how dark it can get and how every little thing can be so triggering for you, how small tasks in your life become so difficult. Next up, I have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And when it comes to John Green, I feel like he researches a lot before writing his books. I know all of his books are not really as great as The Fault in Our Stars, and a lot of people do not even like The Fault in Our Stars, but I feel like as an author he does a lot of research and he studies what he's writing about. So I feel like he studied and researched a lot about anxiety and OCD before writing this book, and it comes across, when you read the book. So the protagonist of the book is Asa Holmes, who has severe anxiety disorder, and she also has OCD. So throughout the book, John Green makes sure that he stresses a lot on her illness and makes it as vivid as possible for people to actually understand what she goes through, because honestly there are so many people who think that OCD is about cleanliness and about neatness, which it really isn't. OCD is a really frustrating thing. It can really make your life difficult, and people who go through that only knows what it feels like to be in such a place. And I would not want this for any one of you. So when you read the book, you will definitely get to know what it is all about. And as I said, John Green did a lot of research. He went ahead and talked to a lot of people who go through all these illnesses, and he told all of this in his interview, and I read that. So that's how I know that he actually went out of his way basically to study about the illness so that he can make it as vivid as he can. Next up, I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I have talked about this book in my other videos as well. This is one of the best YA novel as well, and I feel like young adults or teenagers, these people should read this book once in their lifetime. So this book is in the form of letters that Charlie writes, who is the protagonist of the book. So throughout the book you will see that Charlie goes through a lot, and there's just a lot on his plate, and he deals with everything. There's loneliness, there is teenage angst, and there is this desire to fit in the social landscape. So maybe you also know some young guy or girl who is your sister or brother, cousin, anyone, and when you read the book you might want to check on them, that how is their life going on, how do they fit in their school's social landscape, and just be there for them, because sometimes all you want is a person to whom you can actually share and find support in, and that's really important to talk. So be there for these people, because when you are young, you are a teenager, you just need a lot of support, because you feel like people don't understand you, that whatever you are feeling is very exclusive and it has never been felt by anyone before. But that's not really the case. Each one of us have gone through that phase, and that's one of the difficult phases of our lives. So yeah, if you are a young person watching my video, if you are a teenager, if you have just stepped into your teenage life, if you want someone as a support, you can totally DM me on Instagram, or you can comment anything that you would want to talk about in the comment section, and we can totally talk about it. Alright guys, so these were all the books that I wanted to recommend. I hope that you found this video valuable and helpful. If you did, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you are notified with all updates, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.